Hello everyone and welcome to Sideboard here in Atlanta. I am Glenn Jones and I have the undefeated standard players in front of me. It's about 20 players, and really the story of the tournament, Junk Reanimator. It's not that surprising obviously, but it's the most successful deck on the numbers. There are 6 pilots on 4-0. No other archetype even cracked 3. So that's a pretty big deal. Also worth noting, there were 5 control decks that managed to go undefeated. They spread their numbers, a couple Esper Control, couple blue-white-red flash, and also a single Wolf Run Bant in the hands of Michael Burnett, who you might know top-aided the Indianapolis Open Series, playing the same deck. Clearly, it's working out for him so far. He started off 4-0 in the standard portion. As far as the blue-white-red flash decks, one had Reckoner, one did not. I know Jerry T has returned to the Reckoner Harvest Pyre interaction, so the fad of Aurelia, the War Leader, may be waxing, as it were, at least in this room. Beyond that, we had a few interesting decks that managed to 4-0. 3 stand out above the rest. Anthony Eason playing Aristocrats Act 2. You've already seen this deck on the stream in the hands of Ben Friedman. It's a Brad Nelson concoction that I know he worked with Sam Black on as well. A number of top players are playing it. And it's really standards like legitimate combo deck now with a Blood Artist and Boros Reckoner alongside Blasphemous Act. Can do some very explosive things. Additionally, we have Ross Merriam, who returned to green-red aggro, as opposed to the red decks that have been splashing Flint of Boar. Now he's in the green deck, splashing in a few big ones like Domri Raid and Thundermaw Hellkite, leaning on Gyre Sage and that kind of interaction. He has Wolfir Silverhearts. He's basically just going over the top of all these other mid-rangey decks, I think, and he started off undefeated in Standard as well, and that catapulted him to a 7-1 start on day 1. Good for Ross. And last but not least, Jeff Hoogland. In Kansas City, we did a deck tech on his Rug Flash deck in Standard. If you remember that one, it had Wolfir Avenger, Yeva Nature's Herald, Snapcaster Mage, Huntmaster of the Fells, and then just a lot of instants. Very similar to what you might expect out of a blue-white-red Flash deck, except obviously he dipped into green for his creature base. Jeff managed to start the Invitational 4-0 on day 1 in Standard, and he's still chugging along. I know in the Legacy rounds he's also playing his 4-color Loam Control deck that he top-aided the Indianapolis Legacy Open with, so if you want to know anything about what Jeff's playing, you can already see that in 2 deck techs. Outside of that, mostly just what you might come to expect. Some black-red zombies, some red-white aggro. Those decks are interesting, but beyond that, it's just a couple archetypes splitting up the remainder of the pie. So I'm going to go ahead and toss to a deck tech with one of day 1's undefeated players, Brian Braun-Duin. He was playing 4-color Deathblade. He actually has fallen from undefeated. He lost, as you guys saw on stream, to Philip Lauren. But he's still chugging along, still very much in top 8 contention, and he's playing Legacy right now with this deck.